The European Union is finalizing emergency legislation that would allow it to curb vaccine exports for 6 weeks. That's according to the New York Times. And the move comes in response to supply shortages in Europe and a rising third wave of COVID infections. Britain would face the biggest disruption, followed by Canada and Israel. Between February and mid-March, the EU allowed companies to export more than 40 million doses to 33 countries, while 70 million doses stayed within the bloc. But politicians in Europe have been facing a backlash. Only 10% of its citizens have been vaccinated. And they let all those vaccines go out. You know, it's a touchy subject, but you got 40% were vaccinated in the UK, nearly 60% in Israel. So these are, you know, no one's going to win with choices, but they need to be made. Joining us now, Dr. Kavita Patel, primary care physician, Brookings Institution fellow, and an NBC News contributor. She formerly served in the Obama administration. Dr. Patel, it's good to see you. You probably have been in positions where these tough choices, tough decisions, I don't know how you would justify this, or is it totally justifiable? You've got to keep it at home. It almost sounds like a Europe first strategy. But if they're at 10% and they're exporting all that vaccine, as a citizen there, I think I would expect it to be available to me first.
Yeah, Joe, good morning. You're bringing up exactly the rub. I think that when these arrangements were made, by the way, it was very clear that the EU in particular put an incredible emphasis on AstraZeneca, just like the United States had tried to put some even bets on a number of their manufacturers. So in the case of the EU, AstraZeneca was something that of course, the other manufacturers are in there, but AZ was kind of the leading manufacturer with supply. And unfortunately, between the cases and the rising and an incredibly rocky vaccination rollout, Joe, you're just seeing exactly this rub. This has happened in other not as dire situations in the United States. It's why we actually led to developing a federal strategic national stockpile. Of course, you can't do that with COVID vaccines at this point in time. But I think what you're seeing the EU do is, frankly, they're watching even what the United States is doing with some of its arrangements to send out vaccine supply, but in promise of reciprocity that they'll get those doses back. That was only after the United States, Joe, had accomplished its goal of securing enough supply to at least vaccinate all adults at that time, by the end of May. It now looks like it could be even sooner because we're doing 24/7 manufacturing. So this is a difficult situation, but I got to be honest, when you're looking at lockdowns, which is what they're doing in the EU, it makes sense to actually prioritize your country's needs first. In healthcare, Joe, we always say that you have to save yourself before you can save the patients around you. It's essentially how the EU is acting.
Right. Put your oxygen mask on first on the plane and then help those. It's not necessarily intuitive. So we want to avoid what's going on over there, if at all possible. And what do you attribute it to? Not enough people being vaccinated? Did they reopen too quickly? Did they really let their guard down a lot? Because if you look at what's going on in Miami Beach or other things happening in the United States, it seems like it's possible that we could be in the same boat. Will we not be in the same boat because we have much higher or have done better with the vaccine rollout?
Yeah, it's incredibly amazing for us to talk about how the United States is really leading the way, but it has. Frankly speaking, we're getting, especially in the high priority populations, Joe, we're achieving above the age of 65. Almost all adults have at least had their first shot, if not the majority, fully vaccinated. And that's the driver for hospitalizations and deaths. And you're seeing states like Texas Monday, March 29th, first state to open up eligibility to all adults. Doesn't mean it's easy to go get a shot for anybody on Monday, but it means that we're really ramping up with 3 to 4 million shots a day and climbing. Where the EU went wrong, you're right. The EU kind of did several things wrong, and it's a case study in what not to do. Number one, not enough supply secured in advance in terms of kind of spreading the probabilities of success across multiple manufacturers. We've done that with 12 and counting in the United States compared to the EU single-digit bets. And on top of that, rolling back restrictions, frankly, they're also finding some of what we see in our states, that people are just fatigued despite having a pretty even testing and tracing strategy in the beginning. Remember, Germany was a case we were touting as a success model. But despite any of that, people are fatigued and they're like, no, we're just going to travel. We're going to do what we need to. So, yes, it's a cautionary tale. The thing that makes it a little different also, Joe, is the variants. I think we saw the emergence of B117 and some other variants earlier in the EU. We're trying to heed that caution here in the United States, not working out as much as we would hope because we're starting to see cases plateauing. And just in the last 72 hours, cases rising, especially in 12 states across the country here.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.